2003 state elections, BJP is facing arguably its biggest test as it makes efforts to retain power. Now, the government is likely to introduce quota for the Panchamasali Lingayat issue in the assembly today. This after the community gave them a deadline till today to ensure reservation for them. The community members are going to carry out a massive march to Belagavi today amid heavy security deployment. The Karnataka Home Minister Nanendra government is confident that the protesting Lingayats won't take law into their hands. He further added that enough preparations have been done to ensure the protest goes on smoothly.
ನೋಡಿ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತ ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತ್ ಏರ್ಪಾಡನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಹದಗೆಡಿಸುವಂತ ಕಾನೂನು ಕೈಗೆತ್ತಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದೋಬಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
आपका जो पॉलिटिकल करियर है बीजेपी से बिल्ड किया है, तो आज बीजेपी को एक डेंट होने वाली जैसे प्रोटेस्ट में आप जो भाग ले रहे हैं इसके बारे में प्रश्न भी उठ रहे हैं, आप उसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
इससे रिजर्वेशन जो लिंगायत कम्युनिटी का पंचमसाली को दे तो पार्टी को लाभ हो जाए, उसके लिए हम इसमें शामिल हो गए.
और अभी क्या चीफ मिनिस्टर से क्या आपने लास्ट कब बात किया था इसके बारे में और तब क्या उनका राय क्या था?
आज सुबह हमारा मंत्री जी सीसी पाटिल ने मेरे साथ बात किया है. आज एक सकारात्मक निर्णय लेंगे करके संदेश भेजा मुख्यमंत्री जी.
Well, that's the word coming in from Mr. Yatnal as well. So the protest, of course, continues. We'll have to see at which point we'll have Congress leaders really join. We did see, Lakshmi Hepadkar, of course, who was there, but she's still not joined us here and not marching with him at this point. So while they do start marching together, that will be a political message of sorts as well that is going to be put out. And you could expect more leaders from the Congress to join. Now let me show you, we are of course now going on the incline. We have about 4 to 5 kilometers to go before they reach anywhere close to Suvarna Soudha, which comes along this particular highway. So the police of course have marked the location about 2 to 3 kilometers from where we are. Beyond that point, the protesting crowds will not be allowed to march. But they of course maintain that they're not going to go away to any fixed location. Their plan is to head to the Suvarna Soudha, and that will happen today at any cost if their demands are not met.
All right, so that is my colleague Deepak Bopanna reporting live from Belagavi. Now, this, of course, in connection with the fact that, right ahead of the 2023 state elections, BJP is, of course, facing arguably its biggest test because we're talking about the Panchamasali Lingayat staged the mega protest. In fact, the visuals also you can see on your screens, where of course the government is likely to introduce this quota for the Lingayat community. Now, the Lingayat community's presence in Karnataka is huge, so it will, we'll have to wait and watch what decision will be taken in the assembly because remember they are marching towards the Suvarna Soudha, like Deepak said, in Belagavi. Now, the winter session of Karnataka is currently underway in Belagavi. On the other hand, talking about the law and order situation, earlier the Karnataka Home Minister Nanendra also reacted on it, saying that he believes that the Lingayats won't take law into their hands, but they have made enough arrangements and security deployment for the same so that no untoward incident takes place. All right, for more on this, I have Tanveer Ahmed joining me. Mr. Ahmed, I appreciate you talking to Mirror now. Now, this, of course, is a big test, for the BJP as well. But your first reaction about the fact that this reservation quota also for the Lingayat community and their presence in the state is huge. And we, in fact, are getting those visuals as well on our screens of their march to the assembly session.
Firstly, we need to really understand the demographics here in Karnataka. Panchamasali Lingayat community is a very, very huge community. Veerashaiva and Panchamasali are two sects of Lingayat community. But here, during Mr. Yediyurappa's time, one particular sect was given prominence and importance. Another, which is equally powerful and large in number, was not considered. So Mr. Baswantagowda Patil Yatnal, who's the BJP MLA and a very powerful MLA for BJP, a motor mouth, who's anti-Yediyurappa for a pretty long time, he is seeing this as a political opportunity for him to rise and become the champion of Panchamasali community. But however, the catch-22 situation here is, if at all they give reservation, how are they going to give it 50%? Because you can't really take the mark above 50%. Who are they going to cut? If at all they give it, tomorrow if at all the Kunchitiga community, which is again a very powerful community from the Wakkaligas, if at all they come to protest, what are they going to answer them? Right now, BJP has over-promised, under-delivered, and now they are this is not going to be easy for Mr. Bommai. Bommai, who's a Sadra Lingayat, it's not going to be easy for Mr. Bommai to keep every community happy. But it is a very dangerous situation. This can really become a violent protest. And where is it happening? It is happening in Belagavi, which is already a troubled area. There is a Maharashtra and Karnataka, which is happening right now. The protest. I would see as Kannadiga, coming from a responsible political party, we don't want the situation to go out of hand. If it does, the entire communities in Karnataka, whether it is Wakkaligas, whether it is Kurbas and Lingayats and Muslims, they are all going to be coming on the street, and this is not going to be an easy battle for BJP to really answer all these communities, because through my sources, I have heard information that they are trying to cut the reservation which is allocated for Muslims and allocate to somebody else. Do you think the Muslim community will keep quiet or should keep quiet? This is a very serious situation and catch-22 situation.
Absolutely, Tanveer Ahmed. As you're pointing out, of course, it is going to be a tricky situation for Baswaraj Bommai as well. But when you talk about the effect of this, if at all, of course, this does come through on other communities as well, how does JDS read into it? Because like you pointed out, there are we're just not talking about the Lingayat community's presence in Karnataka. You also spoke about the Wakkaligas. You also spoke about the Kuruba community as well. So how does the JDS read into this politically?
Yeah, I know that Devegowda quite some time back had a meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, regarding Kunchiga community. So Mr. Devegowda has already presented this information that Kunchiga community should also be included. But right now, Veerashaiva Lingayat is already having 5% reservation. If at all they add, it is going to become another 10%, 5 plus 5, 10%. So it is a big Pandora box. JDS says only one thing. People should be given reservation and definitely the marginalized communities which are affected for pretty long, especially the SC and other communities who are really in a very low strata, should definitely be considered. But here, any political party, including mine, if at all we make any statement, this is not just a political promise that you are promising for any freebies. This really involves emotion. This involves demographics. This involves economic conditions. We can't really make a passing remark. BJP, especially when during Mr. Yediyurappa's time, the one particular sect of Lingayat community was largely benefited. And Mr. Baswantagowda Patil Yatnal, who is an MLA of BJP, who is a political opponent of Mr. Yediyurappa, has taken this as an opportunity for him to rise the ranks and files. I think the only way the situation could be cracked and considered only if Prime Minister Modi and Mr. Amit Shah comes and solves this issue. I think the issue is gone out of the hand of local state politics. The only national politics can really come and resolve the issue. Otherwise, I am really seeing a tough time for Karnataka and Kannadigas, every community which is going to be at loggerhead, ma'am.
All right, Tanveer Ahmed, appreciate you giving me your viewpoint, but please stay with me on the broadcast. In fact, I have Anand Gurumurthy of the BJP also joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Anand Gurumurthy, thank you for taking the time out and speaking to Mirror now. We're also looking at those visuals right now of this particular protest. But Tanveer Ahmed, of course, has raised several pointers. Talk to us about the fact that the BJP's, this is, of course, a litmus test also in a sense. But if this does happen, will it backfire in a sense of the other communities getting upset in Karnataka?
Whatever decision BJP takes, they will take it in a logical way, considering the good of all. Okay, it's not just good of one community which backs us or another community which doesn't back us. BJP never does work like that. So it is a clear logical step that will be taken. And Lingayat community is a very futuristic community. They will understand the consequences of what equilibrium disturbance can cause. And that will be explained to the leaders there. And within our party also, there are many Lingayats from that community, especially from that sub-sect. So they will talk to them and it will be convinced. Okay, they will be convinced. And at what point, whatever decision the BJP government takes is not, coming out in the open, but definitely people are working towards it and trying to understand, pacify things, and also trying to understand what best can be done for that community, because there are many poor people even in that community who need to be helped. So how they can be helped is the question that is being raised. It's not about just the quota system or anything. It's just about how to help the poor in that community. So regarding this, the state leaders are good enough. They will take a decision. And of course, if the national leaders' intervention is required, that will also be taken care of in the coming years.
All right, Anand Gurumurthy, as well as Tanveer Ahmed, JDS of the national spokesperson, of course, joining us on the broadcast. I appreciate both of you taking the time out and giving us your viewpoint in this. But we'll move on to more news that we're tracking on Mirror now at the moment.